Alrighty, folks, welcome on back to Lost Odyssey. Today, we are going to do In the Mind of a Captive from the 1,000 Years of Dreams. In the Mind of a Captive. He knows that it's useless, but he can't suppress the impulse that wells up within his own flesh. He needs to do it, to hurl his entire body against the bars. It does no good at all. His flesh simply bounces off the thick iron bars. "Number 8, what the hell are you doing?" The guard's angry shout echoes down the corridor. The prisoners are never called by name, but only by the numbers on their cells. Chaim is number 8. Chaim says nothing. Instead, he slams his shoulder against the bars. The massive bars of iron never budge. All they do is leave a dull, heavy ache in Chaim's superbly conditioned muscles and bones. Now, instead of shouting again, the guard blows his whistles, and the other guards come running from their station. "Number 8, what's it going to take to make you understand? Do you want to be thrown into the punishment cell? Don't look at me like that. Start resisting and it will get you a longer time in here." Sitting on the floor of his cell, legs splayed out, Chaim ignores the guard's shouts. He has been to the punishment room any number of times. He knows he has been branded a highly rebellious prisoner, but he can't help himself. Something is squirming deep down inside him. Some hot thing trapped inside there is seething and writhing. "Some war hero you turned out to be," says one guard. "You can't do shit in here. What's the matter, soldier boy? Can't do anything without an enemy staring you in the face?" The guard next to him taunts Chaim with laughter. "Too bad for you, buddy. No enemies in here. Nobody from your side either. We've got you locked up all by yourself." After the guards leave, Chaim curls up on the floor, hugging his knees, eyes tightly clamped shut. "All by myself?" The guard was right. I thought I was used to living alone, in battle, on the road. But the loneliness here in prison is deeper than any I've ever experienced before, and more frightening. Walls on 3 sides, and beyond the bars, nothing but another wall enclosing the narrow corridor. This dungeon was built so as to prevent prisoners from seeing each other, or even to sense each other's presence. The total lack of a change in the view paralyzes the sense of time as well. Chaim has no idea how many days have passed since he was thrown in here. Time flows on, that much is certain, but with nowhere to go, it simply stagnates inside him. The true torture that prison inflicts on a man is neither to rob him of his freedom, nor to force him to experience loneliness. The real punishment is having to live where nothing ever moves in your field of view and time never flows. The water in a river will never putrefy, but lock it in a jar, and that's exactly what it will eventually do. The same is true here. Maybe parts of him deep down in his body and mind are already beginning to give off a rotten stench. Because he is aware of this, Chaim drags himself up from the floor again and slams himself into the bars over and over. There is not the remotest chance that doing so will break a bar. Nor does he think he can manage to escape this way. Still, he does it repeatedly. He can't help himself. He has to do it again and again. And the instant before his body smashes into the bars, for that split second, a puff of wind strikes his cheek. The unmoving air moves, if only for that brief interval. The touch of the air is the one thing that gives Chaim a fragmentary hint of the flow of time. The guards come running, faces grim with anger. Now I can see human shapes where before there was only a wall. That alone is enough to lift my spirits. Don't these guards realize that? All right, number 8. It's the punishment room for you. Let's see if 3 days in there will cool your head. Chaim's lips relax when he hears that order. Don't these guys get it? Now my scenery will change. Time will start flowing again. I'm thankful for that. Chaim laughs aloud. The guards tie his hands behind him, put chains on his ankles, and start for the punishment room. What the hell are you laughing at, number 8? Yeah, stop it. We'll punish you even more. But Chaim just keeps laughing at the top of his lungs. If I fill my lungs with all new air, will the stench disappear? Or have my body and mind rotted so much already that I can't get rid of the stench so easily? How long will they keep me locked up in here? When can I get out of here? Will it be too late by then? When everything has rotted away, will I become less a him than an it? The way our troops count enemy corpses? Chaim can hardly breathe. It's as if the air is being squeezed out of his chest, and the excruciating pain of it is drawing him back from the world of dream to reality. While I was once in a prison in the far distant past, he half wonders in the space between dream and reality. He has had this dream any number of times, this nightmare, it might even be called. After waking, he tries to recall it, but nothing stays in his memory. One thing is certain, however, the appearance of the jail and the guards in the dream is always the same. Could this be something I have actually experienced? If so, when could it have been? There's no way for him to tell. Once he's fully awake, those questions he's asked between dream and reality are themselves erased from his memory. He springs up with a scream, his breath labored, the back of his hand wiping the streams of sweat from his brow, and that is all that is left of the shuddering terror. It is always like this. Now, too, he mutters to himself as he attempts to retrieve whatever memory is left in a remote corner of his brain. What kind of past life could I have lived through? Now, too. What kind of past life could I have lived through? That would probably be pretty terrifying. Being in a cell where it's 3 walls, 1 wall is bars, and the only thing outside of those bars is a wall for the hallway. Yeah, I'd after a while probably do something stupid and annoying to get a change of scenery too. Anyway, I hope you folks enjoyed this episode. If you did, hit that like button down below. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and checking out some of my other content. And as always, I will catch you folks in the next episode. Stay frosty out there.